You might wonder if there is any specific food that never goes bad, or maybe where the colors of a barber's pole came from. Perhaps you have heard that dogs can smell cancer, but you're not sure if that's true or not. Well, if you want the answers to these questions and other similar ones, we got all of them. Let's get started. Insects and strawberries. We're sorry to inform you, but all this time, you have been eating strawberries wrong. The best way to do it is by soaking the strawberries in salt water for a while. It won't affect the taste, but you'll get rid of some unwelcome guests. You might be skeptical about this, like most people, but some have decided to recreate the experiment in their homes. They saw that all this time, they have been eating these things along with their fruit. This probably won't dull your shocks, but these are not actually worms. They're larvae of the spotted common fruit fly. When the female is getting ready to lay her eggs, it prefers the pulp of berries. This does not only happen with strawberries, but also with blueberries, raspberries, cherries, peaches, and grapes. The funny thing is, the US law allows up to 13 insect heads for every 3.5 ounces of fig paste. According to research, the average person swallows up to 14 ounces of bugs per year. Detachable headrests. This one might actually save your life one day, but we hope that you'll never end up in the scenario where you'd need to use this secret. You probably know that car headrests can be detached, but you might not know of the reasons. If you're ever stuck in an overturned car or your car is sinking, just use the 2 metal rods to break the windows. These rods apply enough pressure to break the glass, even if you're not particularly strong. Do dogs smell cancer? A dog's sense of smell is 100 times better than that of a human. This grants them the ability to also smell some kinds of diseases. Cancer is a disease, and some dogs can actually diagnose cancer. Watch, this dog managed to correctly identify subjects who had cancer. Some dogs are being trained to enhance this feature, but they're already very useful as they are. This might remind you of our previous video, where a woman was able to identify signs of Parkinson's just by smell. Maybe her sense of smell is similar to that of a dog's. Blood test. When going to the hospital, blood can be taken from different spots in the human body. For example, sometimes doctors take blood from the finger, other times from veins. When taking blood from fingers, they're testing capillary blood, whilst in the latter, they're testing venous blood. Capillary blood is good for the general tests such as glucose indications and cholesterol levels. Venous blood is used mainly for deeper analysis tests such as for hormones or cancers. Things change when testing the blood of babies. Venous blood of a baby is not taken from the crease of the elbow, but from a vein in their heads. Yep, you heard that right. For capillary blood, it is normally taken from the baby's heel. This is for the first 3 months after birth only. The first blood test happens in the first minutes after a baby's birth and is very important. Obviously, taking blood from a heel is way easier than trying to pierce a small finger. The colors of a barber pole. This pole is recognizable worldwide, and everyone knows it means that a barber shop is nearby. With only 3 colors, red, blue, and white, it has become a worldwide identifier for getting a slick cut or perhaps a smooth shave. It actually has an ancient meaning behind it and has existed for centuries. In the Middle Ages, barbers did not only cut hair and shave beards, but they also performed plasmapheresis, also known as bloodletting. After the process, they wrapped the bloodied cloth in the streets to inform people about their services. Red means blood, white means bandages, and blue means swollen veins. Popcorn Beach. Fuerteventura is one of the 7 Spanish Canary Islands. All of these islands are beautiful, but this one stands out for a very particular reason. Instead of being covered with sand, Fuerteventura is covered with popcorn. Sounds quite nice, right? Going there, watching the sunset with maybe some music on the side, and having endless popcorn to eat. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. As much as it really looks like popcorn, these grains actually come from red algae. Over time and with constant exposure to the elements, these plants accumulate calcium carbonate in the form of spots, and when the plant dies, they are washed up ashore and look like a very tasty movie snack. Food that never goes bad. Whenever you find an old container of honey in your kitchen, do not throw it away, even if it has been there for years. Due to honey's unique chemical makeup, it can be stored for thousands of years. This is because it contains minimal water, a high level of acidity, and a small amount of hydrogen peroxide. In fact, you may know that honey can be used to treat wounds and speed up the healing process. This is because microorganisms can't survive in honey's composition. In fact, it is not uncommon for archaeologists to discover containers full of honey that still seems to be edible. Other similar food products are salt, sugar, and dry rice. However, experts say that only honey can be consumed without any previous processing, even after hundreds of years after it was produced. Fruit bread. You probably know about the square watermelons that the very creative Japanese people created to make storage easier. However, they did not stop there. They've created something which is perhaps even more insane. Instead of changing the shapes of bulky fruit, they decided to merge fruit with another food product. The choice they made doesn't make sense at first, because how on earth are these two products related? They've created loaves of bread which resemble square watermelons. The shape, the colors, everything, even the seeds are painted onto the bread. Obviously, the bread tastes normally and does not have any hint of watermelon flavor in it. Even though it's normal bread, I'm still dying to try it, and we're sure that you are too. Pet toilets. Has traveling with your lovely pet ever seemed really stressful? Well, it sure is. From the amounts of paper and documents that are involved to the list of vaccinations that the furry companion needs to take, things can get very hectic. However, in some aspects, people are working to make things easier. A federal organization in the US set up an agreement for all airports with more than 10,000 passengers a year to have designated animal zones. Look how beautiful some of these areas are. The law states that just a small area with artificial turf is enough, but why not make the place as comfortable as it can be for our beloved pets? For example, at one of Chicago's airports, they set up a 2x4 area with artificial grass, water sprinklers for cleaning purposes, as well as a fake fire hydrant to add to the toilet element. Not only that, but there are also 3 outdoor areas with real grass, rocks, and wood. What else could a dog ask for? Winter rooms. Let's face it, trying to buy different season clothing can be one of the most annoying things out there. Can you imagine wearing a winter coat in autumn? Would get uncomfortable pretty quickly. Apart from that, you wouldn't be able to fully judge if the coat would hold up against the colds of winter. Well, Mark's Work Warehouse found a solution for this exact problem. Specialists at this company have come up with a special chamber where anyone can test clothes in winter conditions. These chambers are embedded with powerful fans to emulate the cold winter winds, as well as an adjustable temperature device that can go as low as -58 degrees Fahrenheit. What an innovation! Recycling stations. Train tickets cost a different amount around the world, depending on the country. When asking a person from China how much a train ticket costs, he might reply with a few plastic bottles. Electric trains are the most common type in China. However, that is not the only environmentally friendly incentive that the Chinese took. In some metro stations in Beijing, there are these machines. You can input a plastic container into the machine. The machine then crushes it and sorts it by type and color. After that, the user receives credit that can go up to 15 cents per bottle. The credit received can be used when boarding trains and even some other transportation methods. It might not seem like much, but if you count the number of bottles you've used in your life, it will definitely count up to a hefty credit score. Twitter logo. Twitter was created in 2006. Due to its unique style, the platform quickly gained popularity, and nowadays it has almost 200 million active users. But have you ever asked yourself where the famous bird on the website's logo originated from? Well, it was all Biz Stone's idea, a co-founder of the company. Biz is a basketball fan and has been since he was just a child. Undoubtedly, he supports the Boston Celtics religiously. One of the best players to play with the Boston Celtics is Larry Bird. Larry is even one of the best players in NBA history. Now you know where the famous bird logo came from. And yes, it has actually been confirmed by Biz himself. Hey friend, if you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. See you next time.